Story 1. The only bad part about it is the constant people telling me I'm less than others because I don't have kids. I'm starting to get sick of telling people I'm completely sterile. I should get a badge saying, I'm completely sterile. Keep your opinions to yourself. Story 2. I am currently on a month-long vacation on an island in the Indian Ocean. Costs me about $3,000. Today I didn't feel like doing anything, so I just stayed in bed. It's about 2 in the afternoon now, so I think I might crack open a beer and move to the balcony soon. I don't exactly know what life with kids is like, but I can't imagine it's like this. Story 3. Honestly, quite nice. I don't have to work the highest paying, most stressful job I can get in order to pay for a bigger place and the food, clothing, hobbies, etc. of additional people. I don't have to plan around a babysitter or daycare's availability. Likewise, it isn't expected that I volunteer for the school board or for whatever hobbies the child has. Story 4. Honest, long-winded answer. In my opinion, the pros are what you would expect. More time, money, peace, and quiet. For me personally, I've discovered a few cons. I think having kids can sometimes force you to become more responsible by changing your priorities. I feel less responsible than some parents I know. I also feel like I may be lonelier when I'm older. I'm not the most sociable person, so I don't expect to have a multitude of friends when I'm a senior. Don't get me wrong, I love my alone time, but I could see getting tired of it after a long enough time without kids of my own. I may never know what it feels like to be loved and relied on by a child to that extent. You always see children of a certain age light up when they see their mom or dad after being away from them for a while. Even as a single man, I can admire that relationship. That may be what I regret most if I never have kids. However, with all that said, I'm still okay with no children at the end of the day. Do I sometimes hope that I get to experience having children? Yes. In my opinion, I'm not ready for kids and I may never be. I haven't personally written off kids forever, but I have already accepted that I may never want kids. I'm lucky and have a big family, so there is no shortage of kids around. For now, I'm content with being a son, brother, and soon-to-be uncle. Story 5. My brother and his wife have no kids and no pets. They take vacations on a whim. They can get home at 5 p.m. on a Friday, look at the weather forecast, throw a bag of clothes in the car, and just leave. Story 6. I am 41. Today I woke up when I wanted, made a coffee, watched some YouTube, went to the gym, had lunch, went out for beers and dinner in the sunshine, watched a movie, and now I am lying in bed. Pretty freaking awesome. Story 7. I spent yesterday with family. Woke up early and started setting up Christmas Legos with my nieces and nephews. I was 30 minutes late to a football game for one kid because a different kid ignored being told to get his stuff ready to leave. I looked after my brother's baby and 3-year-old, while the nephew who can't get ready coached the 3-year-old to kick me, which is a regular occurrence. After the game, I yelled at one kid because he kept telling me to wait before putting the baby in the car as he wanted to get in that way, ignoring the fact that he could have gotten in many times while he was repeating his request. Meanwhile, I was trying to keep her from getting cold and wet in the rain. We went out to dinner, where the 3-year-old started yelling because I wouldn't finish the drawing on her kids' menu that she decided she was done with. Today, I'm playing video games. No human contact. I love my nieces and nephews. I am driven to near insanity by my nieces and nephews. Life without kids is peaceful. Story 8. I'm 45, no kids. I have 2 siblings. They both have kids. I don't envy them. Children can absolutely bring joy, but they also bring stress, and sometimes a great deal of pain. Having kids seems to sometimes work out well, and sometimes it doesn't. You take your chances. Story 9. Amazing. My boyfriend and I are on another vacation. I'm sipping my morning coffee on a mountain overlook near a very popular tourist city in complete peace. Every attraction or restaurant we've been to has involved seeing stressed-out parents tell their kids to stop running around, trying to shush their whining, or get them to sit still for a photo. We just walk on by and are glad that this is not our life. Story 10. Currently sleeping in with my 2 dogs because I had late rehearsals and a concert the last 3 days, and I'm exhausted. But I didn't have to think about childcare even once. Story 11. I continue to grow, learn, an experience as an individual. My friends with children love them but mourn the sense of identity they had before becoming a parent. Story 12. Good for me. Being a woman, it is severely looked down upon by society. Childless cat lady, spinster, and so on. It's not that I was purposely trying to be child-free out of some protest. It just didn't work out, and now I'm older. I'd love to be in a relationship again, though. Story 13. I rather enjoy it. The biggest problem is I am a man and all of my male friends have all but disappeared. When I do get together with them, they are an exhausted shell of who they used to be. I am not angry about it. It is part of life. Story 14. Life without kids is the best. I totally recommend it. I paid off my mortgage by the time I was 45. I can take jobs that have very little responsibility. I work 2 to 3 days per week. I have hardly any expenses. I hit the gym all the time for hours at a time. I look at least 10 years younger than my age. The benefits go on and on. Story 15. Dual income with no kids is bliss. Money is not really an issue, and we are working mid-level roles, so work-life balance is very good. We both knew early on we did not want kids, and we both have extended family who do have kids, which is nice to have nieces and nephews around. I like being able to do random things with no notice, travel easily, and not have to spend thousands extra on tickets or hotels. We are not party animals, but kids do not really suit our lifestyle. The lack of responsibility is great. We only really have each other to worry about. Story 16. Not having kids is why my husband and I can have more hobbies and live the life we do. Besides traveling all the time for exploration, vacations, and theme park adventures, we spend our time at home. A quiet home with no stress, doing tons of hobbies. Playing video games, reading, and fishing on our boat. We have an extensive board game in Magic, the Gathering collection, building the expensive Lego display sets, doing puzzles and leaving them out on the table while taking breaks from doing them. We live a very extravagant, not in typical luxury brands kind of way, but in hobbies and travel and eating out and being spontaneous way, life doing whatever we want when we want. We are never bored and find we still don't have enough time to do everything we want and spend all the time we want together. Weekends are never long enough. While I prefer friends without kids because they have similar goals and are in a similar chapter of life, we have no issues having friends with kids. About half of our friend group does have kids, and we make an effort to work with or around the kids depending on what the parents want at that time. Story 17. Fabulous. Nobody to take care of except myself, my mom, and my pets. I can lead a fairly self-absorbed life. I can do what I want when I want. My income is solely mine to do with as I please. My husband died 12 years ago, and though I miss him, I don't miss having conflicts. I used to be sad that we couldn't have kids, but after he died, I was glad I only had my own grief to deal with. Story 18. I kind of regret not getting married or having kids when I was younger. Life is okay. At 40, I'm single and deeply involved in my career, so I am working a lot. I have a simple, quiet life, but it's lonely sometimes. My old friends all grew up and got married or had kids of their own, so we've drifted apart over the years. But it's okay. Their lives look a little crazy and hectic, and I enjoy the freedom and low-stress life I've become used to. Story 19. Better than it would be with children for me. I would be struggling a lot more if I had children. I did not need or want to bring children into a life that would not be the best possible thing for them. Story 20. You belong to yourself. Sleep as much as you want. Go wherever you please. Listen to any music at any volume. Watch whatever you want on television. Walk as much as your heart desires. Enjoy long, relaxing showers for as long as you like. The list can go on and on. In a word, it's beautiful. Story 21. Life is a freaking dream. We take care of ourselves. Eat healthy and unhealthy whenever we want to. We can have a cocktail at 5 and eat popcorn on a Sunday. We do not have to compromise money or time on something we do not want. We love the animals in our house. We have no additional cleaning, dirty diapers, throw up, or tantrums. Whenever my wife and I see a child, we feel happy. Story 22. I literally could not imagine having a kid right now. I'm sick in bed and plan on just resting here the entire day. Maybe playing video games or reading a book. Definitely getting Uber Eats tonight. If I had a kid, My life would not allow this, and I would probably be miserable right now. Story 23. To be honest, I had an extended family member with a husband that hated her and 3 kids under 6 years old. Think of Lynette from Desperate Housewives, but living in a lonely village with abusive parents and greasy hair. So, compared to that, a total win. Thinking about my child that I lost at over 6 months of pregnancy, less of a win. However, I would rather be done with that topic than be saddled with a man like that for life. Story 24. Amazing. Best decision we ever made. Our evenings and weekends are open for brunch, events, or adventures, and sometimes just sitting doing nothing. Our finances are reserved for us. Our sleep is uninterrupted and comfortable. We aren't forced to drive sport utility vehicles and minivans, and our home looks so cool without anyone to mess it up. We almost never fight as there isn't much to disagree on. And potentially most importantly, at 34, I still love my body and know my husband does too. Story 25. For me, it is fantastic. It is not stressful if I get laid off from a job, and I get to sleep in or take naps whenever I want. Also, our mortgage is about half of what my friends pay to live in a great school district. It is also less stressful to grocery shop because my husband and I are not picky eaters, so I can buy what is on sale. Being child-free was definitely the best choice for me and my life. I do not have the patience for kids, and no child deserves a frustrated mother. Story 26. Good. I cannot imagine having kids these days. It must be terrifying. I am quite happy to live without the constant threat of the most precious thing in the world to me getting shot to death at school always lurking in the back of my mind. Story 27. On the one hand, it's good. Life is fairly quiet and measured. I have enough free time and I'm not too stressed. In fact, you are only responsible for yourself. There is room for spontaneous decisions and travel. On the other hand, I would like to devote my free time to my child, and I hope that this will happen in the coming years. Story 28. All of the typical things. My house is consistently clean. I am not stressed over making ends meet for not only myself but another person. I can sleep when I want, and I love being able to decide last minute that I'm doing something even as simple as running out to the store, and I can leave my house within 10 minutes with nothing in tow. That being said, everyone around me has kids. My best friend, my brother, most of my boyfriend's family, my cousins, and so on. We are the only ones without kids for the most part. Hanging out with friends and family is getting more boring. Everyone is too busy making sure there isn't a foreign object in their child's mouth to have a decent conversation anymore. I went to a family party with my boyfriend's family, and he was meeting me there a little while later. I'm extremely close to most of his family, so I would never expect to feel isolated and alone. I sat at a table by myself for 80% of the time on my phone because every time I'd engage with anyone for longer than 5 minutes, they had to go change a diaper, run after their kid, feed them, help end a meltdown, and so forth. So nowadays, when there is some family event, my boyfriend and I are usually just talking with each other most of the time between others wrangling their children. I won't lie, it makes you feel on the outside sometimes. Nonetheless, we still don't want kids. Our peaceful, carefree home life with 2 dogs trumps feeling lonely at a quarterly family event. Disclaimer. I engage with most of the kids when we are at a family party, and I absolutely love my nieces and nephews. I'm the favorite aunt, the cool aunt, the aunt whose house you can go to decompress and get spoiled. My family is within walking distance of my house, so this is awesome. I've also come to realize I really don't like a whole lot of kids other than my kids. Story 29. Late 30s, married, happy, and free. Wouldn't change it. We dance in our kitchen making cocktails and swim nude when we want. Go out for dinner at a moment's notice and take trips away whenever we want. I highly recommend the child-free life, but I'm not blind to the fact that we miss out on some things. If you look at kids logically, it's a terrible lifestyle decision and offers slim chances of a return on investment, like happy, healthy kids who don't get in trouble with the law and love you back. Also, it's hard for parents to ever really holiday and take in the beauty of a new place because they're so busy looking after the kids. As the saying goes, a holiday with kids isn't a vacation. It's just parenting in a different location. Story 30. More money and time for you. What's not to like? I'm not keen on being elbows deep in kid stuff. I wouldn't have been able to do the things I do if I had kids. Not how I like to. I have much respect for people with kids who still manage to do stuff. I'm good. Story 31. Relaxing? Actually, I cannot even imagine how horribly stressful a life with children would be. Yesterday, my girlfriend and I were drinking beer and playing Mario Kart for the whole night. And I'm 42 years old. Imagine that with a kid. Story 32. Well, my brother, who is in his 30s, just bought a PlayStation 5 Pro and a $1,000 plus gaming personal computer in the same week and isn't struggling. He said he has no debt. I have a kid and try not to spend more than $100 on anything. Story 33. Kids are a huge responsibility that can drain you physically and mentally and can challenge your relationship as a couple. Before you decide to have one, make sure you truly want it and not just because of social pressure. It's very important as well that the man you choose to be a father is fully committed.